that is a huge sense of relief from West Ham. You could feel it. You could feel it. I definitely would imagine you could feel it inside the stadium, which became, incredibly raucous, incredibly buoyant. But you could feel it through the screen as you were watching it with David Moyes, I felt in particular. Not just the way he was sort of cuddling the players at the end of the game, which was great. It's great to see, and it's great to see David Moyes looking happy because he's looked like the weight of the world on his shoulders for quite some time. But you could actually see it was very evident that the weight of the shoulders lifted from him and the players. I think the way he spoke in the post-match press conference, it was even time to praise Manchester United and make excuses for them and about their fixture congestion. He was in schmooze factor 10, wasn't he, really, Moyes? He was definitely doing a lot of schmoozing, talking about the fans and talking about the noise and all the rest of it. He had a lot of lovely things to say about the players. There was that point on the touchline when he was applauding Lucas Paqueta's skill. Thought he was going to start shouting olays and all the rest of it. And it was a deserved win against Manchester United. But I started to wonder about that relieving of pressure and what that must do with the players and the club as a whole in terms of looking forward to the European game, because I do think that's huge. That's this cloud, or what would have been probably a huge mental block, that there is no pressure now. There's not the same pressure. There just can't be the same pressure of getting through a European semi-final as there is of having to avoid relegation. Wasn't just Moyes either. Look at the way Declan Rice, and all the players, but I think Declan Rice in particular, just because I saw him on the interviews, obviously he played so well. They all played well, didn't they? But with the way that he was interviewed, with the way that he spoke afterwards, I thought, there is a relieving of the pressure from him. And, I mean, there's been a lot of things said and written about Declan Rice recently, and he's been magnificent for us this season, and we are going to miss him massively. But Declan Rice would have felt as much relief as anybody else. I don't think it matters that he's going to be off at the end of the season. Declan did not want to leave West Ham, having been the captain that took him down. He didn't want that. I mean, a lot's made of him being obviously a former. He was formerly at Chelsea. Growing up as a Chelsea fan, all the rest of it. And whilst he might not have been born into a West Ham family, there's no doubt that Declan would have grown to love West Ham. I really, really do feel that. Wherever Declan goes, he's never going to get the adulation of wherever he goes to from the fans that he's had from West Ham fans. Okay, at West Ham he's the main man, right? He's our top guy. He's going to go to Arsenal. I don't mean they won't appreciate him, but at Arsenal he's going to be no more popular than Jesus or Odegaard or whoever the case may be. Zinchenko. Choose your player. Saka's a good one, actually, because Saka will always be more popular because he's come through the ranks at Arsenal. So he's not going to be the cherished one, the loved one. He will be appreciated, don't get me wrong. But my point is, Declan will have created a special bond with the West Ham fans. He would not have wanted to have taken us down. Far, far from it. So he's going to be relieved now. He's going to be highly motivated. You've only got to look at what's happened to Arsenal this season. I know they did well against Newcastle yesterday. But there's no guarantee of winning trophies in this career. There really isn't. And it may well, I'm sure Declan will have trophies at the end of his season. But his best, as I mentioned before, his best chance of a trophy at the moment is right now. Right now with West Ham. And I think this is going to be a massive relief. He's going to really want to go out on a high. I think I managed to be absolutely erased any prospect of relegation long before the season was ended. I know it's not mathematically done. We'll get to that in a second. But also I lifted a trophy with West Ham. And I just wonder if that relief of the pressure just from Declan, the whole team, and David Moyes now allows them to really focus on the semi-final. Ideally, and it is ideally, we would have got it wrapped up a little bit before, so we were a little bit fitter, a little bit more refreshed. But I guess we do have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I guess start of Thursday to get those players that do look tired up to fitness. And when I say the players that look tired, Souček, he had a bash to the head as well, didn't he? Was out, and so was Antonio. They gave everything. And I know everybody gave everything, but those two in particular, I thought looked absolutely exhausted. So we're looking for that second wind from them, and I think we'll get it. I think, wrap them up in cotton wool, stick them in the ice bath, whatever you do, just get them ready. But I think now it's that extra sort of mental energy you're going to get with the relief of not worrying about the Premier League and to actually focus on it. They can now, basically, the squad can now enter trophy-winning mode. It's not a mode we've got. We don't know it. We don't have a trophy-winning mode about us at West Ham. It's been years and years and years. 1980. We don't class the Intertoto Cup. Well, I don't anyway. Particularly if you look at the format and all the rest of it. This is very different. I do feel this is a different tournament to that. Paqueta, I think people like Paqueta. Paqueta joined the club. I think this is important to remember. He didn't join the club for a relegation scrap. He would have looked at the club, he would have seen the club as somebody that had reached the European semi-final, and he'd have thought, I'm having some of that. That's what he signed up for. He didn't sign up for a relegation scrap. Now, don't get me wrong, that's what he got. But I think he'll probably look at it now and think, okay, we've seen off the relegation. This is what I'm here for, this European semi-final. This is why I'm here. 40-odd caps for Brazil. I mean, central midfielder. He would have seen his mate. As his mate, Casemiro, played against him yesterday. Thought he got the better of him. Paqueta got the better of Casemiro yesterday. But Casemiro came from Real Madrid and went to Man United. Two very, very different clubs from, obviously going from Olympique Lyonnais to West Ham. And it's worked for Casemiro. Casemiro's been a successful signing, hasn't he? He's been really, really good this season. And Paqueta would have looked to that. I think now you could also almost make a story for every player, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but you look at it now and you think, okay, now the team can really focus and be in with a really, really good chance, because actually you get to that, and David Moyes is very respectful of the Brentford game, and rightly so when I heard him speak, but realistically, that's not going to make any difference to anyone. Brentford are safe. We're pretty safe. He can do what he wants. He can basically rest. The game in between the two European second legs, he can rest on. That's fine. That's absolutely great. And just while I'm here, you may have noticed yesterday during Gio's video, Gio was drunk on his video, okay? And basically, he made this offer to everybody because he was happy with survive relegation, because he was happy, because he was drunk. He said on his video, I'm going to, basically, if you join Patreon now, I think it was the Mild Addicts, and you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. So he was a very naughty boy for doing that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend that offer, because I think it's only fair. So he's done it, so I'm going to do it. So there you go. The link is in the description below. It's patreon.com/HammersChat. If you want to go and give it a go, I'm not going to, I hope you've probably seen so many of these videos, you don't need me to tell you what Patreon's all about. Patreon.com/HammersChat. Link is in the description below. If you sign up now as a Mild Addict, which is the middle tier, if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back at the end of May. I'm going to make Gio do all the admin for that, though, quite frankly. I'll tell you what you can do. We've already recorded our player ratings today, so in fact, you can actually retrospectively go back and watch a load of old stuff anyway, but you'll get the player ratings for today, which I think was a really good video. Anyway, where was I? I think there's individual stories for a lot of players. I think with someone like Jared Bowen's the only one I'm a little bit worried about. But I do think Bowen has not had much of a rest, but he's working hard. I do wonder how much of it is sort of mental fatigue from a hard season. I wonder if that liberates him, taking the pressure off of that. I think so. I mean, you'd have known. I did the video before the Man United game, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I felt more positive. I don't know, I just going into that Man United game feeling a little bit more upbeat. And I feel that's it now. There is a positive vibe around the club. Definitely. I'd be bet that's a great, if they are training, I don't know if they're training today. If they are training today, I bet it's a great place for them to be. Really, really happy place. And they can really, really look forward to it. Just to go back on the league in terms of, because I noticed a couple of people said, technically we're not safe yet. 7 points, a lot of points, particularly the goal difference. With the exception of Leicester, who have a similar goal difference, it's not just you've got to get 7 points, you've got to get 8 points. Well, you can't get 8 points, can you? Because you just can't mathematically. You need, not out of that. For Leeds, can't get 8 points out of 3 games. They would need to win all of their games. They would need to win all of them. So they get 7 points. They can win 2 and draw on, but to do better than that, you're going to have to get 9. That's going to be a really, really tough ask. Because obviously they've got, I know they play us, but they've also got, I think it's Newcastle. Let me have a little look at their matches. I think it's Newcastle. up next from it is it's Newcastle, it's West Ham, and then it's Tottenham. So I just think that's going to be hard. I'm not saying necessarily it's Leeds that go down, but you then start to look at the gap and you look at what everyone else has got to do. There's fixtures to be played today, and we'll know a lot more. But I didn't want to wait until I've watched those games to upload this video. In fact, I'm not going to actually watch those games. I think that's quite good. I found myself watching more and more of the relegation games, a lot more Premier League football recently, because I've been worried about us. I wanted to have a look at Everton. I've seen them all play recently. Seen Leicester play, seen Leeds play, see Everton play. Maybe not Forest, not watched Forest much, but by and large, I've seen Bournemouth, seen Southampton. I've watched more of these teams play in recent weeks because I've been worried about them, and now I don't feel like I have to. I'm actually going to go out and try and enjoy the remainder of the bank holiday Monday, really, without worrying about that. Mathematically, no, but I mean, yeah, I'm not concerned about it at all. You've also got 3 teams in terms of Southampton, Everton, Leeds. At the point of recording this, no wins in their last 5. Anyway, I'm going to forget about that now. And my point about this video really was that we can concentrate on European football, basically. And I think that's... I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed about that. Looking forward to it myself. Going up there on Thursday, which I'm really, really looking forward to as well. Taking my son, going with the old man. Should be really exciting. Going to see Tony. Have a couple of beverages again. I'm sure we'll have a lovely, lovely evening. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow.